and welcome back to my channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Amy, and today I am going to be going through my top 5 eyeshadow palettes for you guys. This is a video that I've been saying that I've been going to make for like 3-4 months now, and I just keep forgetting to do it. But hey ho, we're here today, we're going to film it today. So I'm going to take you through my top 5 eyeshadow palettes, why I like them, price point, pigmentation, things like that, why I think they're really good, and anyway, let's just dive straight into it. So the first one that is going to be no surprise because I've featured it quite a lot on this channel. It was limited edition. They do have a similar product out at the moment, and I'm guaranteeing you that you own most of these shades anyway. But this is the Too Faced Gingerbread Extra Spicy palette. So this is what it looks like on the inside. This warm toned buttery goodness. If you know me at all, I love my warm shades. I love oranges, I love reds, I love pinks, I love kind of warm rich bronzes and golds on my eye. I think it suits my skin tone really well, and this palette has absolutely every colour that I could ever want in a palette in here. The only thing I would say, and this is just me being particularly pedantic, is this shade here, Midnight Snack, which is for me a very weird colour to have in here. It's like a sparkly blue black, which I wouldn't know how to use it with a lot of these colours. I think this could have been omitted and a matte black been added. I think that would have been fantastic. You do have this really dark shade here called Cookie Core. However, it's not black. It is a very dark purpley brown, but you won't be able to get quite that smokiness. The only complaint that I have with this palette, pigmentation is fabulous. As with all kind of Too Faced palettes, the price point I think is like 30 something pounds. I will check this. So as with all other Too Faced products, it is around like the £39–40 pound mark, but I just absolutely love this. I use this quite a lot in my day-to-day life. If I wasn't doing Project Pan, this would probably be my everyday eyeshadow palette, just because you've got everything you need. You've got like light colours for setting the crease, you've got mid-tone blending colours, you've got pops of colour here and there, you've got lovely shimmers for the lid. It's just absolutely fantastic. I almost can't fault this palette. This is definitely why it's in my top 5. However, definitely at a much more affordable price point. This is the Revolution Soph Extra Spice palette. It's so reflective you can barely even see it. So this is Soph Does Life's second collaboration with her second collaboration eyeshadow palette, at least, with Revolution the brand, and I have basically got this the day it launched. So this is what the shades look like on the inside. I promise you, even though it doesn't look like I've used it, I have used it quite extensively. I particularly love the oranges in this palette. So we have Sweet and Sour, Running Late that I love, and Vitamin C is the yellow here. I think they're absolutely great. Pigmentation for a palette of this kind is absolutely fantastic. Like, I honestly can't fault it. She's got a really good mix of like warm, cool, matte, shimmer. She does have a matte black in here, which, well, it seems more blue here, but it's definitely enough of a black. Normally on a day-to-day basis, again, if I wasn't doing Project Pan, I would be smashing a bit of cookie dough through the crease every day on the lid, and if I wanted to smoke it up, I'd probably be using chocolate orange just on the outside corner here. I use this for going out, I use it every day. I think the palette is maybe £10, and the fact that it comes with a massive mirror is also a bonus. I love the Revolution palette. I did like Soph's first palette, however, it's the Extra Spice palette that takes the cake for me. One of my smaller palettes that has definitely made it into my top 5 is the Huda Beauty Coral Obsessions palette. That's what that looks like on your inside there. So if you saw my Cult Beauty Starter Kit unboxing video, you will have seen that I got this palette inside of it. I also did the Boots Best in Beauty unboxing video where I got the Huda Beauty Desert Dust palette. A lot bigger, lot more shades in it. However, I much prefer this one. Not only is the colourway more suitable for me and my skin tone, you've got yellow, you've got oranges, you've got pinks, you've got 2 shimmers, you've got darker browns to smoke it up. It's just the fact that it's got a good mirror and it's so small and so travel friendly. Like, if I was going on holiday, I would be able to take this and this would be everything that I would really need in a palette. I can't think of how to construct this better. It's got a great portability, it's great size. Pigmentation, with it being Huda Beauty, obviously is absolutely second to none. Shadows blend really well on my eyes, and I just love every single shade in here. I honestly cannot fault this palette. If you haven't already noticed a trend, I really do like my warm toned eyeshadows. I don't really tend to use cool tones on my eyes a lot. I just feel like they clash with my skin tone and the way that I generally wear my makeup. I'm more often to be rocking a massive orange smoky eye than I am to be a greige in the crease. That just doesn't work for me. Also in my top 5 is quite a small palette. This is the Tarte Pro To Go palette, which was part of the first video that I ever filmed on this channel, which was a Tarte one-day sale haul. So this is like the tiniest little palette. This one does have some cooler tones in there if you like your cooler tones. It's got 6 pans, and this is something that is like a proper do-it-all travel palette for me. I've got like crease colours, not crease colours, I've got Liz colours here, I've got inner corner highlight, I've got blending colour, warmer blending colour, smoking up colour, and this colour I can also use here on my brows as well. So if I've got a spoon and a couple of eyeshadow brushes, I'm absolutely sorted. Again, as with all my palettes that I love, they do have a mirror in it. This is something that lived in my handbag for about 3 months because I have a very bad habit of doing my makeup on the train when I'm going to work. This was before we all had to wear masks and everything and COVID hit. I used to do my makeup on the train in about 12 minutes, and this was the palette that I used to do it because it just had everything I needed all in one tiny little lovely package. Pigmentation's great, blendability is absolutely fabulous. Price point of this, obviously with the Huda Beauty one as well, they're a little bit more expensive. Some people might say that it's not worth it. I would personally agree. I think the small palettes like this are maybe like £25. The Huda Beauty one you do get 9 shades in, so potentially that might be all worth it for you. However, for the Tarte one, I can understand if you don't want to pay full price for it. However, every so often Tarte do their one-day sales, and 9 times out of 10 this palette is in it, which means effectively you are in essence paying about £10 for it. For the quality of the shadows, definitely worth £10. It's definitely something to take a look at if you're needing like a new kind of everyday eyeshadow palette. And then finally, for my top 5 eyeshadow palettes, it's actually a bit of a wild card because it's not just an eyeshadow palette. This is the BH Cosmetics Run Wild palette by Tina Young. I discovered this palette through watching a very good YouTuber. Her name is Sharon Farrell. I'll link her channel down below in the description box if you want to check it out. She is an Irish YouTuber living in Australia. She's very oily skin, similar to me, so I trust like her foundation reviews, her longevity reviews and things like that. But she was testing this in a video, and I absolutely fell in love. I don't know if this is still available. If it is, obviously it'll be linked down below as with all the other products. But for me, this has become like, for the entirety of like, basically from when it came out in like 2019 through to March of 2020, this was my going out palette, and you'll see why. So you flip open the first section and you've actually got blushes and bronzers in there, which is great for me going on and out. All these colours work really well for me. So you've got Cocoa here, which is a matte bronzer. You've got Crush, which is like a matte peachy blush. You've got Daydream, which is a matte pink. And then Flaunt It, which is kind of like a NARS Orgasm kind of shape with a bit of shimmer in it. You then flip open the rest of the palette. Not only do you have a massive mirror and 2 highlights, one called Starlet, which is the one that I use, and then one called Luna, which is a bit deeper, but I can still use it on my eyes. But you then have 12 of some of the most gorgeous colours and pigmented eyeshadows that you have ever seen in your life. Every single colour in here I have used to go out with. Every single one of them I have used on my eye. I use No Limit as a liner and sometimes in my brows. This is the matte brown that you see here. I've used the greens, Avocado and Cactus with a little bit of Wild Child yellow in the crease. I've used Wild Child with Juicy Dusk and Heat to create like a proper sunset smoky eye. I've used all of the pinks and the purples together. I've used Sky High on its own with a bit of light dusk through the crease. Honestly, it's absolutely one of the best palettes that I have ever bought, just in terms of its multitasking purposes. It's a great travel palette. I took this away with me when I went on holiday with my family. I took this on holiday when me and Daniel went to London last year. I took this on holiday. I took this on every holiday, basically, because in very lightweight, very ergonomic packaging, you've got blushes, bronzers, highlights, eyeshadows, and a massive mirror all in one palette. You don't need to worry about fanning around with loads of different boxes and packagings and things getting broken and things like that. It's absolutely, honestly, one of the favourite things that I've ever bought, and I think it only cost me like 20 quid. It's absolutely great. So those are my top 5 eyeshadow palettes. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, hit the subscribe button down below. Don't forget to turn the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads, and give this video a big thumbs up so more people can find it. Let me know what your favourite eyeshadow palettes are down in the comment section. Maybe you can convince me that I need a cool tone palette in my life. Well, you might have a bit of a challenge with that one. And other than that, I'll see you next time, guys. Bye!